The nurse hesitated before telling me. Her voice lowered as though the words themselves were poison. While I lay in that hospital bed, tubes in my veins, monitors counting my breaths, my wife and her mother stood over my 6-year-old adopted daughter and told her she didn't belong. They said she'd be sent back. They said she wasn't real. And then my wife screamed the words that split something inside me forever: "You need to make space for the real children." The nurse looked at me as if expecting an explosion, a fit of rage. But I didn't shout, I didn't break things. I let the words sink in. Cold, precise. I smiled at the nurse, thanked her, and in silence, I began planning. I came home from the hospital 2 days later. They didn't know I knew. That ignorance was their weakness. The house smelled of garlic and wine. Laughter came from the dining room. My wife's mother, perched like a queen at the head of the table, glass in hand. My wife beside her, glowing in approval. My daughter sat at the far corner, small, shrinking, not touching her plate. I saw it in her eyes. She carried the weight of their cruelty alone, too afraid to repeat it, too afraid to lose me too. I kissed her head, held her hand, and for a brief second she clung to me like I was the last safe place in the world. That was the moment my denial died. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It wasn't exhaustion or stress or a slip of anger. It was betrayal, deliberate, cold, a declaration that my daughter, our daughter, was disposable. I didn't speak that night, not about it. I ate in silence, listened to their jokes, and let my wife pretend nothing was fractured. But beneath my skin, something new was growing. Not anger, not grief, precision. I moved carefully. No accusations, no outbursts, just quiet preparation. At the law office, I signed papers. Custody, divorce, restraining orders drafted, ready. My wife's bank accounts half drained in advance, legally. The house deed shifted. She had no idea. At home, I watched. She spoke to her mother in hushed tones, unaware I heard every syllable. Plans for a real family. Dismissing my daughter as though she were clutter. They underestimated me. They mistook my silence for weakness. At night, I checked on my daughter. She pretended to sleep, but I saw the tears soaked into her pillow. My chest tightened, but I stayed calm. Because what she needed wasn't my rage, she needed my strategy. Each day I collected proof. Each careless comment. Each text she left unlocked. Words dripping with venom. I can't raise someone else's mistake. I built my case brick by brick. Quiet, invisible, until the walls around them would collapse with one push. They thought I was still healing, but I was calculating. The night came. The table was set again. Wine, candles, the illusion of family. Halfway through the meal, I placed a folder on the table. "Open it," I told her. My wife frowned. She reached for it, hands steady at first, then trembling as her eyes scanned the words. Divorce, custody, evidence, every ugly truth recorded and notarized. Her face drained. Her mother leaned over, reading, and gasped as though stabbed. Finally, my wife looked up at me. Her lips trembled, words clawing at her throat. You can't." I already did. My voice was calm, almost gentle. "You made your choice in that living room. This is mine." My daughter watched, wide-eyed, gripping her fork like a shield. For the first time in weeks, I saw hope flicker in her face. That was enough. My wife broke, begged, tears smeared her face, the performance unraveling. "It was just words. I didn't mean it. Please don't do this." Her mother hissed in her ear, telling her to fight, but her voice was hollow now. I stayed still, hands folded. No anger, only clarity. "You told a child she wasn't real," I said. "Now you'll learn what it feels like to be erased." I pushed the signed copies toward her. "You have 48 hours to leave. After that, you're trespassing." She looked at me like I was a stranger, and maybe I was, but it didn't matter anymore. That night, I tucked my daughter into bed. She asked me if she was safe now. I told her the truth. Yes, you'll never be sent back. You are mine. Always. Her eyes closed finally in peace, sleep taking her quickly. I sat in the dark beside her, listening to the silence of the house. No laughter, no taunts, no poison. The storm inside me had ended. What replaced it was colder, quieter. Some betrayals don't deserve rage. They deserve precision, exposure, elimination. And when I closed the door behind me, I knew one thing with absolute certainty. They were gone. She was safe, and I would never let her believe she was anything less than real again. Some people mistake silence for weakness, but silence is where I sharpen the blade.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.